My name is Dr.Tino Faillace. I'm an Italian. I was born 85 years back, so as you can see, I'm an old man. And since I retired from the United Nations, where I was a project manager for many years in many countries, I decided to dedicate my life, the remaining part of my life, to the tribal people of India. Why the tribal people of India? Because they are the most needy people in the world, I would say. And so we decided to come to India, my wife and I, after I retired from the UN. In effect, after I retired, I had a heart operation in Texas, Houston, Texas, and with 4 bypass. At that time, I asked to myself what I could do with my life. I sure was not a man to stay or sleep on my own. I've been always a man of action. I had been 20 years in Africa, 10 years in Latin America, South and Central America. I worked in Korea, Nepal, in India, in many other countries as a consultant or full-time job. So I felt what I could do. Sure not to be the gardener in my own garden with my wife's smile at me, commanding, do this or do that. So I said, I have to do something that's constructive, something that can be rewarding to me and to other people. In 1988, our daughter was here in Ganeshpuri, and she was in Siddha Yoga ashram. I did not know anything at that time, what was this ashram. But one thing was sure, she was going to miss a job. She had applied for a job, and she speaks 5 or 6 languages. She has a diploma in economics and languages. But she was here, and meantime, some application that he had made before it came turn to be considered. But she was not in Italy. So my wife said, why don't you go to India and pick up your daughter and convince her that she has to come back now home. So I came to Ganeshpuri. Anyhow, then I met somebody that in effect changed a little bit my attitude. Somebody who was here from England. He was working for Oxfam. And he was, at that time they created an organization here, the ashram. It's called the Prasad organization. Prasad organization was meant to help mainly the village surrounding the ashram. I said, you come to my office and I show you what we do. He showed me that they surveyed all the area, the whole area, and they had found out that 80% of the illness in the tribal area, in the rural area, was due to waterborne diseases. I said, water was my own field when I've been working so many countries. I said, my God, this means that I could be very useful to this place. So I talked to this gentleman. He showed me what they were doing, and I said, okay, I have to do something here because nobody could replace me in this type of task. So I wrote a letter to Guru Mai and said, Guru Mai, I've been in Ganeshpuri, as you know, she had met me, and I see that I could. It's very, very great what you want to do to help people surrounding the ashram. But you know, I hear that from the mobile hospital, it resulted that many illnesses that you are trying to cure, they are recurrent, come over and over again. And that's because most of the water are contaminated. So unless we purify them, give safe water to people, this problem will not stop. So I could collaborate as Seva for this work. And then she wrote to me a beautiful letter. She said, you are the most needy person I ever met. Please come to Ganeshpuri and help us. So that's why I came to Ganeshpuri. But meanwhile, I had my program. I started my program in Pune. In Ganeshpuri, I was staying several times, several years, splitting my time between Pune and Ganeshpuri, and doing the best I could do to help promote within the ashram the development of water supply system for the tribal villages. There was an epidemic of cholera in Thane district. We are now in Thane district. And especially in the northern taluks, northern counties of Thane district, and 1,500 children died. At that point was a tragedy, and I asked myself, what we are doing in Pune? Pune is a city, although I was not working in Pune, I was in the many villages, but villages in that area are well off. But when I saw this tragedy with 1,500 children, I had no hesitation. I said, my post is here. It's here I have to be, and here I have to work. So in effect, I communicated this to the ashram. The ashram was not against this. Was very, especially Guru Maharaj was very happy about this, my decision. But also we gave a lot of contribution to the government. Practically many borrowers drilled by the government in previous years were out of order. So we thought that we could repair them. So we bought all the material, all the spare parts and so on, and we repaired 270 borrowers abandoned by the government, sometimes even 10 years. So altogether, in the arch of nearly 20 years, when our program was established 3 years ago, we have helped more than 600 villages. But you know, nearly everywhere in the world where I've been working, they used to call me, in India, for instance, in Kenya, Tino Baji, Maggi, Tino Maggi. Maggi is water. No? Okay. Tino Bio. Bio is water in Somalia, and so on. You can sit here.
Yes.
तरी होऊ शकतं ना.
Old but broken.
Now, Lord Ganesh is a deterrent for many things. First of all, it prevents vandalization of the work. It gives certain sacrality to the site. Even if Lord Ganesh is there, the property dispute will disappear. So therefore, he has got a great meaning. And I thought that it would have been a good idea to input in my water program the religious aspect of India. Ah, namaskar. Igre.
आता बाया सरपंचगिरी केलेली चांगली आहे.
Okay. Me staying. So altogether, 14 children were born in my family. So the need of sharing, the need of giving, the need of splitting, whatever we had, start from childhood. And then you can understand that then you cannot do it without. You cannot do without, because the joy takes you up so much that you don't see any meaning in your life if you don't give something to people. You know, the Indians say that at the age of 60, you have to think about, after retirement, how to do good to other people. They say you have to dedicate your life to God. There's no better way to dedicate, from my point of view, your life to God by doing something to other people. This is the best way you can dedicate it. Whatever you give to the poor, you give it to God, the same. So I will say that this is what should be teaching for many people, trying to help and help. Thank you to whoever has been listening.